Hey guys, it's Keegan. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video we are doing a college Q&A. If you guys don't know, I'm going into my senior year of college. I love making college advice, dorm videos, a bunch of college content. I literally do a week in my life of college pretty much every single day, showing you guys what being in college is like. Stick around if you want some college content. But I asked you guys on Instagram if you guys had any questions about college, and I said literally ask anything, and I haven't even gone through these questions yet. I thought that it would be fun to just go through them, answer some of the most commonly asked questions. I remember being really nervous when I was going into college, so if any of these questions and answers can ease your anxieties and worries about college, I hope this video helps. Subscribe if you're not already. If you guys don't know, I go to Arizona State, so some of these questions might be about Arizona State, but a lot of them can just apply to college in general. Someone said, I'm going to ASU in the future. How do you get to class? Bike, etc. Every single school is different, and I've said this in the past, and people are like, no, that never happens. Anyways, I feel like a lot of people don't ride bikes where I go to school, at least. I feel like it's not a really common thing that I see people riding bikes. There's a lot of no bike zones. I find that most people walk to campus. If you live in a dorm, your dorm will most likely be close to campus, so it is walkable. A lot of apartments are walkable. Some people who live a little bit further will get a parking pass for college. I feel like a lot of guys ride their skateboards. I don't really see a lot of girls riding skateboards, but there are some. When I was a freshman, there were the birds, the electric scooters, but then they banned them from campus. I would say the most common way of getting to class is walking. That's always how I've done it. Someone said, what do I wear? I'm going to be a sophomore, but it's going to be my first time on campus. I feel like the fashion is really casual. A lot of people wear leggings, sweat, a t-shirt and jeans. I would say it's more dressed down than high school was. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to get more dressed up for school this year because I've been wearing leggings for the past 2 years of my life. No matter what you wear, you'll fit in somewhere. There's so many people on campus. ASU has multiple campuses, but the campus that I go to, the Tempe campus, there's 75,000 students that go to that campus. You could wear pajamas every day. I've worn pajamas to class. You could wear the most high fashion outfit. There's also going to be people wearing high fashion outfits. Really wear what you want to wear and not what you think you're going to fit into, but I will say it is a pretty casual attire on campus. Someone said, any advice on what to do before classes start? I've done a video like this in the past. I will link it down below, but I called it preparing for the semester. So what I like to do is I like to go on Canvas on Blackboard. You'll have a website that has your grades, all the links to all your classes, all your assignments where you turn everything in, all your lectures. Every single thing for your classes will be on one website, which is super convenient. Make sure to just kind of study that website, figure out how to figure out your grades, where to get your assignments. I remember when I was a freshman, it kind of took me a minute to adjust to that website, to Canvas, because when I was in high school, we had Google Classroom and then we had a separate website for our grades. I was confused. I was like, I don't understand where people are getting these lecture slides from. I don't understand. It's going to all be in that place, so I kind of recommend going through that, figuring out where all of your modules and your assignments and how to turn things in and where you can find your syllabus. I would also recommend going through your syllabus for every class. When you're in high school, you don't really need to read the syllabus. You kind of just have to sign it and give it to the teacher. When you're in college, you really want to go through all of your syllabi, read all of them. It tells you pretty much every single thing that you need to know about the class, what you're learning, if you want to email them, who to email, what to say in the email, how they grade, when assignments are due. It should give you every single due date that you have. I like to take every single due date for my classes, put them in my planner on the day that they're due. I'm constantly up to date with my assignments. I would really recommend getting used to and getting comfortable with your Canvas, your Blackboard, whatever website your school uses. That's a huge thing. How many credits do you usually take? How do you find balance? So at my school, if you want to be a full-time student, you have to take 12 credits. One class is most likely 3 credits, so that would be about 4 classes. I normally take 5 to 6 classes because you can take 12 credits and be a full-time student, but you won't graduate in 4 years. I think that I usually take around 15 to 18 credits. Some people take 21 credits. I've always been a little bit ahead on my major because I took dual enrollment classes in high school, so I never had to take 21 credits. I always recommend going to your academic advisor, but I always also recommend double checking whatever your academic advisor says. The academic advisors are overworked and underpaid. They make mistakes. I know so many people where academic advisors were like, okay, you need to take these classes, and then comes graduation, the people are like, I never took a class that I needed because you never told me to. I'd recommend checking for what your academic advisor says, seeing if it's true. Your academic advisor should give you a really good sense on how many classes you should take. You'll probably make some graduation plan at some point in college, how many credits you want to take each semester. For balance, it will take a minute, especially when you're a freshman, to kind of adjust because your classes are at different times of the day. You have so many different assignments. You're having this huge social life that you're wanting to really go for. It will take some time to adjust, and that's okay. Be okay with that. Try to get into a routine, into a schedule where I have class and I do my homework, then I have another class and I do this homework. Whatever works for you. I find that getting in a routine helps you manage it all. A lot of people want to know what kind of backpack. A lot of people have just very simple black backpacks. I don't know why. I feel like in my head that's the one that comes to mind the most, with a 3 zipper backpack, like not a huge one. No one really has a rolly backpack, just like a simple one. Make sure to get a backpack that has good support though, because you're going to be carrying around your laptop, so make sure there's like a laptop pouch or the straps are strong enough that like it doesn't hurt your back carrying your laptop. Just a simple one. I feel like that's what most people wear. Someone said, would you recommend living in dorms or rent a place off campus? Your freshman year, I would highly recommend living in a dorm if you can afford it. I feel like a lot of people that didn't live in a dorm really regret missing out on that opportunity. It's how you make a lot of friends, how you get a lot of experience. After your freshman year, I do not recommend living on any on-campus housing. If they require you to, that's a different thing, but if you have a choice, I've lived on on-campus housing for 3 years. My junior year, my apartment, my school bought it after I signed my lease. It was absolutely horrible. It was the worst thing ever. If you can avoid university housing at any cost, go for it. Someone said, is a sorority worth joining? So if you guys don't know, I was in a sorority. I dropped my sorority because I hated it. I honestly always tell everyone, even though I dropped, I recommend going through the rush process. I think you'll always wonder, like, was that right for me? What if I enjoyed it? You might as well go through it. If you hate it, you can drop the process, not join a sorority. If you find a sorority that you love, you can go for it. I don't think it hurts to give it a shot, but I don't think it is for everyone, but I think it's worth figuring out if it's right for you or not. Someone said splitting roommate tasks, chores, etc. I feel like that is a big issue that a lot of roommates have. One person is a clean freak, one person's not. I just recommend cleaning up after yourself. If you have a dish, clean your own dish. Don't expect your roommate to do it. Clean up your side of the room. Kind of take the task on. If you do it, it's your task to clean up. It's your chore. Sometimes there are things like taking the trash out. You can decide like, oh, 1 week it's this person, 1 week it's that person, or someone can always do trash and the other person can always do recycling. You guys can figure it out. I feel like that's something that needs to have like a little bit of a conversation between you and your roommate. I also remember saying something about like roommate advice. I think one of my biggest advices would be setting boundaries early on. I feel like a lot of roommate conflicts is like roommates can like push each other's boundaries, so setting clear-cut boundaries beginning of the year will really help you out. A lot of people, especially their freshman year, needed to set boundaries and never did. A lot of people are wanting to know how to make friends. I'm pretty introverted, so it's not like something that like I just make friends like that. There's a lot of ways of making friends. It kind of reminds me of kindergarten, where you're like, do you want to be friends? And people are like, yeah. I think your first semester of freshman year, or even your first year, kind of just cling to the first people that you meet and become friends with, and then you start to expand. A really easy way of making friends is when you sit down next to someone in class, maybe like say hi to them before the professor starts talking. Your roommate, people that live in your dorm hall, you can meet people at the dining hall, you can join a club or a sorority. There's a ton of social things. I feel like there's a lot of pressure and anxiety, but there's so many natural ways of making friends when you're a freshman on campus, because no one else has friends unless they came with all their high school friends. The people that came with all their high school friends, there is an exception, but a lot of the times they stick with their high school friends and don't make a ton of other friends. But there's so many people that are going to college that don't know a single person. I didn't know anyone going to college. I went to an in-state college, but none of my friends went to that college. I didn't really know anyone from my high school going to that college. There's tons of ways of making friends, but everyone is really open to making friends. So there's less of like a rejection aspect, because you know that people are also wanting those friendships. Just be friendly, join clubs, say hi to people that you sit next to in class. What is the first day of school like? Do we just talk to people in our classes, or majority of classes on the first day of school will go over their syllabus. The professor will introduce themselves, they'll read the syllabus. Sometimes there's icebreakers. Those are always so awkward. I hate those. Sometimes they do start the curriculum, like towards the end of class they'll be like, okay, here's like our first lesson, or okay, here's some homework, we're gonna have a syllabus quiz, make sure you do this. But I would say majority of it, it's just the professor introducing themselves and going over the syllabus, because the syllabus is so important in college. I can't stress that enough. How to handle the stress of hard classes. Managing your time is really important. If you have a class that is hard, schedule more time to study, to do your assignments, to prepare for that class. If you have some easier classes, they might not take as much power, but the more you are prepared, the less stressed you are. I am the most stressed person. I also love planning. That really helps. I literally designed my own to-do list. By the way, they're linked down below if you want to buy them. They're super cute. I designed my own to-do list because I used to do this so often in college. That's like the #1 way of managing my time, making sure I get everything done, staying productive, is just following my to-do list. I don't know if that answered that question. This is something that I always wondered about too. Silly, but what do you do if the fire alarm goes off while you're showering? This almost happened to me one time. I was like literally undressing for the shower and the fire alarm went off. But I would recommend just like washing whatever shampoo or conditioner out of your hair, drying off, putting clothes, and then going. It takes a while for people to leave dorms because the elevators don't work and you have to go down the stairs. And if it's like a tall dorm building, it takes a while for all those people to go down the stairs. You most likely won't be the last person out of your dorm, so it takes a while, so don't worry about that. If you aren't in a sorority, can you still go to frat parties? Yes, you can. At my school, you can at least. Pros and cons of being in a sorority. I feel like pros, it's a great way to make friends. It's a great networking thing for after college too. And there's like a lot of like things that you can put on your resume, like you can run for your position, you can, I don't know. I guess that's it. Cons, it's a huge time commitment and they're not really flexible on, oh, you have an exam, oh, you can skip this. They're kind of like, I don't care if you have an exam, you still have to go to this chapter meeting. I did a whole video on the time commitment of a sorority. I will link it down below, but it is a huge time commitment. There's always a lot of drama in sororities. No matter what sorority you're in, there's going to be drama. A group of 200 girls, there's no way there's not going to be. Yeah. Someone said, do people actually get roofied in college? I'm going to be honest with you, yes. I know a couple of my friends that have been roofied at a frat party. I was almost roofied once at a bar. I know, that's so scary. Thank God my friend saw what was going on and didn't let me drink the drink that I was about to drink. Here's my advice. It doesn't happen every day, but it does happen. It's really unfortunate. It's really disgusting that it happens. Make sure to watch out for yourself and for your friends. When you hold a drink, maybe hold it like this, where your hand's covering the top. Don't accept a drink from a stranger. Maybe make them take a sip of it first. Maybe not during COVID time, but you know what I mean. I'm gonna say this, and I feel like some people might be mad at me. There's going to be girls that love XYZ frat that have a reputation for roofing girls, and they're gonna tell you, no, I love these guys. They don't do that. They're such great guys. Those guys aren't going to roofie their friends. They're not gonna roofie girls that they know. They're going to roofie girls that they've never really seen before. First time coming to that party, never met them before. Those are the easier targets, and it's so disgusting talking like this. Make sure that you're aware of your surroundings. Just be careful. Watch out for yourself and watch out for your friends. It does happen. It's not an everyday occurrence, but be aware and know that those things can happen, because that's the best way of preventing it. Is it difficult studying at a higher level? Honestly, yeah. I think that there are some classes when I first went to college that I was kind of like, this is so much harder than high school. You adjust to it, you get used to it, but at first it is a big adjustment. I remember I really struggled just adjusting in general to college life when I was a freshman. I eventually got the hang of it, but the first couple weeks are a little rough. Are there a limit on how many days you can miss class like in high school? I don't know. It really depends on the professor. Some take attendance, some don't. If they do take attendance, it kind of correlates to like points, like participation points, and if you miss a lot, then your participation score will really go down, which will tank your grade. The less you show up, the less you'll understand. So I would read the syllabus and see if you're required to show up every single day, but I would recommend showing up to class. This is going to be the last one. How do you stop caring about what other people think and just be yourself? I think this is something that I've always struggled with, and I think that being in college, I've really found like who I am. I think that a huge thing about college that I really love is there are so many different people that are from so many different places, so many different cultures, ethnic backgrounds. You get out of your small town bubble. Where I grew up, everyone is the exact same. I absolutely hate it. Going to college, seeing so much diversity, you learn so much. You're so much more cultured, and I feel like when you see people being themselves and that's different from who you are, you're more likely to accept who you are because you see so many different people. You don't feel a need to fit into this certain mold, that you feel more free to be who you are just authentically. I don't know if that makes any sense. Seeing the diversity, meeting so many different people, you're more likely to just fall into who you are. There's no pressure to be a certain way like there was in high school because there's just so many people there. I hope that made sense. I don't know if it did. That was the last question. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to DM me on Instagram or comment them down below. I love helping you guys. I wish I had some of this advice when I was a freshman. I love giving it to you guys. If you guys are not subscribed, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, all of that stuff. Find my to-do list if you want. I'll link them down below. I love you so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Mwah.